The political landscape of South America was fundamentally reshaped in a single night through a shocking early morning strike titled Operation Absolute Resolve. Elite U.S. military unit apprehended Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores in the center of Caracas. The pair is currently being detained by federal authorities within the United States. The extraction took less than 30 minutes following a wave of precision strikes on the La Calota military airfield and the Fuerte Tiuna army base. Maduro and Flores were whisked away by MH-47 Chinooks to the USS Iwo Jima off the coast. By Saturday afternoon, they were flown under heavy guard to New York City and processed at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Within hours of the capture, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi unsealed a sweeping superseding indictment from the Southern District of New York. The charges paint a picture of a nation transformed into a criminal enterprise. Nicolas Maduro and Celia Flores face 4 primary counts, carrying a maximum of life in prison. 1. Narco terrorism conspiracy, partnering with the FARC and the Sinaloa cartel to use cocaine as a weapon against the U.S. 2. Cocaine importation conspiracy, orchestrating the shipment of thousands of tons of narcotics. 3. Weapons charges, possession and use of machine guns and destructive devices to protect trafficking routes. 4. Conspiracy with the cartel of the Suns, specifically linking the regime to the Tren de Aragua gang and corrupt military generals. History was made on Monday, January 5th, as the deposed leader stepped into U.S. courtroom for the first time. Under a massive security net involving the NYPD, Secret Service, and the DEA, Maduro was transported via helicopter from Brooklyn to a Manhattan heliport, then driven into an armored motorcade to the Daniel Patrick Moynihan Courthouse. Inside courtroom 23B, a defiant Maduro sat alongside his wife, Celia Flores, whose temple and eyelid were noticeably bandaged. Injuries, her lawyer claimed, occurred during the brutal capture. When asked for his plea, Maduro spoke in Spanish, stating, "I am innocent. I am a decent man, the president of my country." He later shouted to reporters that he was a prisoner of war and a kidnapped president before being silenced by Judge Alvin Hellerstein. The defense team signaled they will challenge the legality of the military abduction, but prosecutors were firm, stating the arrest was a legitimate execution of a 2020 judicial warrant. Back in Washington and Florida, the narrative is one of the temporary stewardship. President Trump has confirmed that the United States will run the Venezuela temporarily to facilitate what he calls a judicious transition. The mission has a clear economic component. Trump explicitly noted that U.S. oil giants, including Chevron, ExxonMobil, and ConocoPhillips, would be very strongly involved in rebuilding the nationalized oil industry. The administration argues this is necessary to stabilize the global energy market and the recoup billions in assets they claim the Maduro regime stole from American companies over 2 decades. The latest update: in Caracas, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez has been sworn in as interim president by the regime-aligned Supreme Court, though U.S. officials claim she has been in contact with Secretary of State Marco Rubio to discuss a surrender. Meanwhile, at the UN, Russia and China have condemned the move as a crime of aggression. Domestically, Congress is split. Republicans are hailing in art a decisive victory for the Monroe Doctrine, while some Democrats are calling in for an immediate hearing on the lack of a formal declaration of war. Maduro and Flores remain in custody without bail. Their next status conference is set for late January 2026. We will keep you updated as this unprecedented story unfolds. For now, the American flag flies alongside the Venezuelan tricolor over key strategic asset in Caracas.